class, my name is Megan, and you are in American Literature, 11th grade English, and we are going to begin reading the book The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So before we begin to read, I just want to have a PowerPoint presentation and find out what you know about F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby, and the 1920s in America before we begin reading. So I'm going to play a PowerPoint presentation. Please take notes, and let's have a conversation about each slide before we continue to the next one. We're going to begin with the author. The author is F. Scott Fitzgerald. He is part of the 1920s lost generation of authors. He wrote novels and short stories, and in the 1920s he lived and was viewed as a celebrity with his wife Zelda, and they had a great time, were very popular in the roaring 1920s. So we're going to go over the 1920s and what the roaring 20s mean. Does anyone understand what the roaring 20s mean? Okay, in the 1920s, America was experiencing a lot of economic growth. There was also technology growth with the radio. And there was organized crime and prohibition was going on, but it was called the Jazz Age. So that had to do with the music and the dancing that went along with the 1920s. And F. Scott Fitzgerald's stories were based on this Jazz Age, roaring 1920s outlook on life. And a major topic that you will see in the story is the idea of the American dream. The American dream was a very popular idea in the 1920s, and does anyone know what exactly the American dream was and what it means? Okay, the American dream is the belief that in America you can come here and work hard and you will be successful. And this was happening in the 1920s to a lot of people, and this is a theme of the book The Great Gatsby. You will often hear and discuss the ideas of social status in The Great Gatsby and old money versus new money. So those are things to pay attention to. Also pay attention to symbols and motifs. And I know we know what these mean, but just to go over symbols and motifs, a motif is a reoccurring element that sets a mood. There will be many motifs in the story. And also symbols, they might not seem very important, but as you read the book and as you go into these symbols, you'll discover that they are bringing new meaning to the words, and they will liven up the story. So we really need to pay attention to these ideas. And specific ones to look for would be the weather, the green light, the Valley of Ashes, and the eyes of T.J. Eichelberg. If we pay attention to these symbols and motifs, it will make the story of The Great Gatsby so much more meaningful, and you'll really enjoy it, and I'm very excited to teach this story with you right now.